Hi, One Stars and fellow YouTubians. Thank you for joining me this evening. Tonight, I have visionary and founder of Awesome, Ayse. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Me. Oh my goodness. So I am a self-mastery coach, meaning I like to teach people how to step into their limitlessness. And I've been doing this for a while now. I'm a hypnotherapist, NLP trainer. I work with energy and with the body. So a very holistic approach to things. And really, that's what I've been doing for the last number of years until the pandemic. And then that really changed everything. Like it changed a lot of things for me. So it's been a very interesting journey the last 6 months. Absolutely. So, yeah.
Do you find that, hi, Ashley, thanks for joining us. Do you find that the pandemic has opened up more doors, or do you find that you are hitting more walls because of
Oh,
that?
no walls. Everything's wide open. Like it's just wide open. And it's been an incredible journey. So no, for me, wide open. I know for many others, not so much, and they've had their challenges and stuff. But for me, wide open. It's created wonderful. It's created a wonderful divine vision and mission that I'm on right now. So it's been super cool.
That's awesome. Hi, Ashley. We've got two Ashleys joining us tonight. So tell us a little bit about your journey, what this has opened up for you.
So shortly after the pandemic started, I decided to use it as a sabbatical time. I was just kind of looking after me and just having some fun. I did Steve Harvey's 300 list. That was fun. I made a vision board in my house, which wasn't a vision board. It turned into a whole wall of my house. It's just like this massive wall in my house now. And so I was just, enjoying myself, doing my thing. And I went into a meditation, I guess a couple of weeks in, just a regular meditation, sitting down, right? And something very unusual happened to me. And I just found myself standing on a field with thousands of people. Everybody was dressed in white. Everybody was on these yellow golden yoga mats. And the weird thing was I felt myself that I'd actually physically been pulled from here and landed there. So I'm on this field, and it was the weirdest thing. And everything was happening so fast that I didn't have a chance to really acknowledge everything that was going on. I do remember that I was looking through my own eyes and I was standing behind a microphone. I couldn't hear what I was saying, but I knew I was addressing the people that were there, but I didn't know what I was saying. I couldn't hear that.
That's awesome.
It was weird because, I created a new word called weirderful. It's like weird and wonderful all at the same time. It was just really, yeah. So explaining it, like even when I hear it myself, I'm like, yeah, sure, this girl's whack. But like this is what happened. So while I was trying to understand what was going on, I heard this voice in my head, and it just kind of said, I shall look right. So I turned my head, I look right, and there was this collection of buildings, old buildings. They kind of had like almost like a, the Harry Potter Hogwartsy kind of look to them, but they didn't look like that. They were just really old buildings, and I knew they were for learning. And I was starting to receive a message of what I needed to do. And I remember looking at the sky when I was there going, I don't know how you want me to do that. We have a pandemic going on. Like, how am I supposed to build a university out of old buildings? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I remember coming back and being very weepy because there was just such an incredible energy that was there. And now I'm looking at my ceiling saying the same thing. I don't know how I'm supposed to do this. Like, how am I supposed to build this? Like, I don't know what to do. And all I kept saying to looking up at the sky was like, how do I do this? I don't know how to do this. Before I knew it, the next couple of days was weird. I just sort of had that vision was kind of here constantly. I couldn't shake it. And then things just started happening. People started coming into my life, answers to questions, how I was supposed to do it. Like it was and I had nothing else to do. We were in a pandemic. So I was like, all right. So I just started going with it. And before I knew it, I was building an online academy something very different than really anything that's out there. Um, and I have over 100 faculty now and a board, and it's just been quite a ride. We've just only like sort of softly launched it. And we have tons of courses and a complete social network and groups and events and just different things. And it's been this crazy ride. Like, it's nothing that I had decided that I was going to do with my life, but now this is what I'm doing. And we've got some incredible teachers, very heart-centered and passionate in so many different areas. And the whole premise of IAWESOME, which is the International Academy of Universal Self-Mastery, the whole premise of IAWESOME is really to supply a place, to give students a place to step into their limitlessness, to be able to get all the teachers that they need, all the mentors, all the coaching that they need, all under one roof, at one virtual roof, and just to be able to be supported. Because in this time, there's lots of big shifts and things are happening, and I don't think we can go back. Like, what I mean is, I don't know if we're going to be able to go back to the way that we were. Maybe, I don't know. I just know that things are shifting, and we've been talking about a shift for years. Like, people have been saying there's going to be some shift, something's going to happen. And I don't know how many people know that it's actually starting, like it's happening. This has got to be it, because the way things are happening is unbelievable. I don't think I could have ever done a collaboration like this before before the pandemic. I don't think it would have happened. And now every teacher that I spoke with kind of said the same thing. They said, I was hoping for something like this. I was dreaming for something like this. I wanted to do something like this. So it was just this weird thing where I think that all these people wishing for the same thing and hoping for the same thing created IAWESOME. So it's been a journey. And I really just feel like her caretaker. I'm just doing what I need to do to make sure this thing gets going. And yeah, I'm very excited about it. I'm very thrilled for the students that are going to start using the Academy. Like, I'm thrilled for them.
That's wonderful. And what I would like to add is it's about time we have something other than mainstream education. It's time that we step out of the box. It's time that we cater to those who have gifts, who want to work on their gifts, who want to build on their gifts, instead of saying, you don't have gifts, you are the same as every other person.
We're not, we all have this beauty inside us. And I think that we've spent so many years, like most of the population of the world, I mean, let's face it, we focus on what we're not. We don't really spend a lot of time thinking about the strength of who we are. I work with clients all the time. It's always like, I'm not enough of this. I'm not enough of that. I'm not this. I'm not that. And I always have to be, but how do you think you got this far in life? Like, you got this far because you are this and you are that. And you are, because you do have these gifts, and we're all not meant to be really great at everything, so you're good at what you need to be good at. So it's really about changing people's viewpoint about themselves. And when people ask me, like, what's spirituality, I really think it's about self-love. Like, it's about really loving yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's something that most people don't do.
Well, we've been conditioned not to love ourselves. We've been conditioned to think we need to do better. We need to be better. We're not good enough. So to finally be at a place where we're being unconditioned and invited to love ourselves, what a wonderful time to be alive.
But at the same time, we've got nothing but fear around us right now. So it's kind of it's an interesting time. I don't listen. Like, I know a lot of people say it, but I am actually, like, I live way up north, and I'm in a town of like maybe 3,000 people by the lake. And I honestly don't listen to the news. If my mom lives 2 doors over, and if she didn't live 2 doors over, I wouldn't know what's going on in the world, because I don't pay attention. I'm very focused on what I'm doing, and I don't want to hear all the fear. Like I don't want to hear all the fear because it's not going to do any good. And a lot of it's based in, I don't know. There's just a lot going on. I'm not going to get into all the thoughts that I have about it all, but I just, I just think we never hear anything good out there. Like no one talks about good stuff, like good news. I want to hear some good news.
Well, you need to read the Weekly Wand, my little publication.
There you go.
Good news.
So it should be good news, like all the things that people achieve in their life and they do in their life, and how they make better choices and better decisions and do really good things with themselves, and they're living their purpose. And it's just, that would be so much more enlightening, I think.
Well, I think it depends on where we look, because I see stuff like that every single day. I read stories like that every single day. I believe what we focus on, we manifest. And yeah. I also don't watch the news. I used to be a reporter. And since I stopped being a reporter, I'm not confident that I've actually turned the news on since then. I mean, I catch glimpses on Facebook and YouTube every now and then, and sometimes I get caught up in what's going on. But to actually watch the news, or what's now called the COVID report, I think, I don't. And I just want to say hi to Daphne and Lori. Thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Yeah. So it's I don't know what to say. I love that we're putting together something. And I think that we're not the only ones. I believe that there's other people out there doing stuff that's in their own way, or whatever mission they're on or whatever. But I feel like it's like the 100th monkey syndrome. You know the story of the 100th monkey syndrome?
I don't. Share, please.
Okay, so the 100th monkey syndrome. So there's this, let me turn this off. There's this island in Japan, near Japan, and there's these monkeys that live on this island. And there's these researchers that are researching these monkeys. And on the island, they grow sweet potatoes. So that's what the monkeys eat. But like people, the monkeys don't like to eat dirt, right? So they're eating the potatoes and spitting out the dirt. So a young monkey gets smart and decides to wash his potato. So some of the other monkeys are watching, and they start washing their potatoes, but the older monkeys are still eating the dirty potatoes, right? They just do what they do. And eventually, 20 monkeys are washing their potatoes, and 50 monkeys are washing their potatoes, and 80 monkeys are washing their potatoes. You get to 99 monkeys are washing their potatoes, and you get to that hypothetical 100th monkey. And now there's a message that's sent to the collective of the species. And now all the monkeys are washing their potatoes, and not just on this island, but all the surrounding islands too. So I truly believe that there's a tipping point in humanity. I don't know what that 100th monkey represents, but there's a tipping point in humanity that if we can get enough people to just sort of begin to raise their vibration, begin to step out of their darkness into their light, and it's going to tip the scales for all of humanity. And now we're not going to live in a place that's full of fear and hate and everything else that we experience out there that's not so good. I'm not going to say we're going to step into a nirvana and we're going to be like, oh, singing with the angels, but I do believe that we're just going to be living a better life, a more fruitful, fulfilling life.
I couldn't agree with you more, because I live on the other side of the province, and I have the same thing going on in my tribe, in my world, in what I'm creating and what those around me are creating. And I speak to people in other countries on a regular basis that are doing the same thing. As a collective, we are coming together. Whether we realize it or not, it's happening. And I am so grateful that this is happening. Hi, Brian. Hi, Robin. Thanks for joining.
Hi, everyone. I kind of have a theory about this, why this is happening. Another reason why that we're all starting to come together. When someone goes blind, they go blind, and all of a sudden their other senses start to open up, yes. Right? So they can, they can hear better, they can taste better, they can smell better, all these things. Well, by keeping us disconnected from each other physically, our out of body senses are starting to reach out and open up. So now all of our out of body senses are becoming really strong because we're being blocked from our normal senses. Like, you know, people don't walk. I'm a hugger. And I have a strong thing about when I hug, it's like 6 seconds long, right? And the reason for that is because after 6 seconds, your body releases oxytocin, right? That feel good. So, you know, I've been hugging trees and stuff because, you know, I live by myself and, you know, so I'm just like, I got nothing to hug. So besides my dog. So I'm just like, you know, I don't know what's going on. So anyways, because my senses have been blocked from what I normally go out there and touch and feel and smell and look at and all this stuff, out of body senses are opening up. And I think that's happening for everyone.
What a perfect analogy, because, well, you put it into words, something that I couldn't have put into words, you did. So I appreciate that. And I'm grateful for that, because I believe that's exactly what it is. Our sense of touch is being taken away. So our sense of perhaps telepathy, or perhaps I don't know.
It could be claircognizance. It could be your ability to be audible. You know, maybe you're just sensing things, your empathy, like things are starting to open up. And those people who are empathic, who don't know that they're empathic,
and they're finding out
because they're feeling everybody else's crap. Right. So they're feeling everybody else's fear. So for them, you know, my advice would be to, there's a really good book out there by Judith Orloff, The Empath's Guide, The Survivor Guide, The Survival Guide to Being an Empath. And that's a really great one because it's got all kinds of things in it that you should learn about yourself and how you can take this thing that would feel like a curse to somebody who doesn't know they're empathic and turn it into a gift.
Well, how beautiful. Something that was meant to tear us apart is doing the complete opposite. It's actually pushing us together again on a universal collective level.
Yes.
We're opening up. We've been given the opportunity to open up to gifts we didn't know we had. We've been given the time to sit with ourselves and get to know ourselves. Robin will actually put the name of the book in the comments for you so that you can get it. Again, I say we manifest what we focus on. Yeah. And for me as well, this has been a time of self-reflection and growth. So it's been wonderful for me.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are doing that. They're introspection, reflection, you know, learning a little bit about yourself that maybe you didn't know, or some things that you're going to have to now are now up in your face and you got to deal with now. And it's a good time to do that. It's a good time to do that. I mean, what are our choices? Live in fear. Well, that's no fun. Worry about all kinds of stuff. No fun again. Or say, you know what? I can't change what's going on right now. So I'm just going to take some time for myself, you know, and really learn and grow and take action. You know, that's a big thing, I think, is taking action. A lot of people read books, they watch movies, healing movies or movies to make themselves better. They get information, they watch videos, all these things. But what they don't do is take action. You know, they'll try something once or twice and they'll go, oh, that felt good. And then but they won't be consistent about it. They won't create that momentum that they need to create to now make it more permanent inside them. And
sorry, go on.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, and I feel that with everything that's going on right now, it's allowing people to take more action, or at least giving them the courage to take more action, because they're coming from a place of, what do I have to lose?
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Absolutely. And I think taking action is the biggest thing that's so important. In everything that you learn and you watch and you bring into your life. And it's really taking action is important. I hear all the time from several people, like, I read books, I know that, I know this, I know the other thing. And I'm like, yeah, but what do you do about it? If you take knowledge and you put it, like, think of it like gas in your car. I don't know, my car's been sitting on the driveway for a long time. So that means that gas, it doesn't matter. If I don't drive the car, who cares? Right? How much gas? I could have a tanker truck attached to it. It doesn't really matter if I'm not driving it. Mm-hmm. So I think of knowledge the same way. If you don't actually take it and do something with it and execute that knowledge, it Doesn't matter how many books you've read. It doesn't matter how much knowledge you've taken in. That's great. But if you don't drive, if you don't take action with it, it's not going to do anything for you.
That's true. Thanks for joining us, Ryan. It's so true. And so many people lose sight of that. Mm-hmm. They gain the knowledge, but then when it sits there, it gets stagnant and we forget. Just like the gas in the car, it gets stagnant.
Yeah.
And then when you drive your car, it sputters or it stalls, or, I mean, it's great analogy again.
Yeah, that's one of my gifts. So I think that I've learned that from my dad. My dad was really good at that when he was alive. I think that the biggest thing is that people want, we've come from a world of instant gratification.
Yes.
Right? So when we want something, we can go get it, or we can order it on Amazon, or we can whatever, and we have it, and it's instant gratification. When you're doing this work with yourself, it's not instant gratification. So when you think about a baby, right? A baby learning to walk, right? So a baby gets up, takes a few steps, crashes on its butt, right? Gets back up, takes a few more steps, falls down again, gets up, leans on a coffee table, takes a few more steps, falls down again. What would happen if that baby just got frustrated and said, forget it, this walking thing, forget about it. I'm not doing it, right? So, we'd have thousands of people in the world crawling around on their butts, right? So basically, don't allow yourself don't let the baby be smarter than us. Like, take those baby steps, allow yourself to fall. You've done something in a certain way your entire life. It's okay if you fall. You just get back up and you keep on walking. And one day you'll be running, right? You just need to be okay with those days that it didn't work out or you weren't able to do it today.
Well, and we're fortunate now, right? Because we have the internet, we have a way to connect with like-minded individuals. So if we do fall, we have people there to catch us and to remind us and to guide us back up onto our feet. Whereas in the days of conditioning, we didn't necessarily have that, and we were more fearful to share than to ask for help or to say, hey, do you feel this way too? Or do you ever think like this? Or do you think this is a great idea? Whereas we live in a wonderful time where we have this technology and we have the ability to reach out.
Yes. And do that. And there's going to be some people that are scared and just say, you know what, just stay inside the box. And then there'll be others, don't let your light shine too bright. And then there'll be others, they'll be like, you could do this. You got this. Pitch the box. You got this, right? Just like, what box? There's a box, and just like move forward with your life. I think that it's been interesting the last week. So many people have said this. Like I talked to a lot of people in a week, and this topic keeps coming up, and I've heard it like, I don't know, maybe 5 times this week, where someone says, we never get a chance to get to know ourselves, right? We don't get a chance because we're so busy being what everybody else wants us to be. We don't have a chance to get to know ourselves. And I was saying, how many people die or end this life one day, whenever their time is up, and they never got to know who they were, and they never got to know what they could do, or they never got to know who they really are if they just let themselves be that person. And that to me is sad. That to me is like, I think I was living that life before. I was so busy being what everybody else wanted me to be that I didn't know who Ayse was and what she wanted. Right. And when I allowed myself to like look in the mirror and see her for the first time, it was like, hey,
I like you.
I kind of like you. And what do you like anyways? And what do you want to do with your life? And so, it's really giving yourself a chance to get to know yourself. And it might not be your best friend's thing. Like they might not like what you're doing or whatever, but they still like you. They still love you. So that's okay. You can be different. You can step out and say, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go try this. right? I'm going to go try that. I'm going to find this out about myself. I'm going to find that out about myself. It's an adventure. What a great time to do this too.
Absolutely. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. And I mean, when we do finally get to know who we are and live that authentic self, we gravitate towards the right people, or they gravitate towards us, and we find that I don't know, we just flourish and we grow and we bloom, and it's beautiful. And I'm still on that journey.
And you can still love the people that you loved before.
Yeah,
That's I have on my vision board, I found this one big quote that I love, and it says, "Find joy in the people who don't think like you." Right?
Yeah.
You can still find joy in the people that don't think like you.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's one of my favorite ones. But it's I don't know, when you feel like you're doing the right thing, it's such a great feeling. I try to compare it when I thought I was doing the right thing, but I wasn't doing the right thing because I was just doing still what everybody else wanted me to do. And I don't know, something happened to me when I came back from that field. Like, not just did I come back with this message, but I think they took my fear away.
You
like
leveled
when I was
up.
there. I leveled up and I came back with no fear. And it was so funny because the first couple of weeks I was like, why am I not scared of stuff? And I would try to make myself afraid. Like, I would think of the things that used to freak me out a lot. And I'm like, and there was nothing there. And I'm like, oh my God, where is it? So it's nice to live without fear.
It is. And on that note, I would like to ask you, have you ever remembered something you didn't know you forgot?
Have I ever remembered something I didn't know I forgot? Yeah, I'm trying to think. I know the feeling because I know exactly what you're talking about, but I'm trying to think of what did I remember that I think I forgot? Did I remember that? I don't know if I said that right, but I do absolutely know what you're saying. And that has happened. I'm trying to remember, but it did happen. It does happen. Where someone says something and you're like, oh,
I knew that.
I knew that. How did I not know that? I knew that. I know that. Yes. But I can't think of one right now. I don't have a good example of one right now.
That's okay. Sit with it. It'll after we're done, T, because we have about 3 minutes left, but
it'll come. It'll come. No, that's happened. It happens. It's nice. It's nice, especially if you allow yourself to love your story. I think that's it. Everyone's got a story. Everything, if somebody knew my story, they would find out that I grew up in not the ideal circumstances, that I, at the age of 40, tried to end my life. Like, they would know a lot of things about me. And I just say, you know what? I love my story now. I wouldn't change anything about my story because my story brought me to what I'm doing right now. My story gave me the resources to do what I'm doing right now. My story gave me the strength to do the things that I'm doing right now. My story taught me so many things and gave me so many strengths and so many tools and resources and capabilities and skills and things to be able to do what I'm doing right now. The facts are the facts. The story never changes. Those things that happened in my life happened. No doubt about it. Those happened. But I can choose to be a victim of my story, or I can choose to be the hero of my story. And it's still the same story. It's just how I tell it now.
Absolutely. And you change one aspect of your story, you change the outcome.
Yeah. And so that's been one of the things that I've learned. And also obstacles. We get opportunities. We love the opportunities when they show up. But I find that, we need to love the obstacles. Right? Because the obstacles teach us so much, right? Like, the obstacles teach us something that we weren't aware of. They showed up because we weren't paying attention to something. And it's like, okay, so what did this teach me? Right? So I've changed the word obstacles to opportunities with a challenge. So it's an opportunity with a challenge.
In closing, is there anything you would like to share with our viewers?
You know what? Come to iAwesome. It's iAwesome, IAUSM.com. like I said, we've just opened the doors. Take a look. Come on in. We do a 10-day trial where you can come in and check things out. We have so many beautiful teachers and so many amazing courses in so many different categories. Come in and take a look. You know what I mean? Come in and take a look. And it just gets bigger and bigger every month. We have more and more beautiful teachers coming in all different things and from all over the world. So we've got courses in Spanish and French and Portuguese and different languages as well. We have teachers from everywhere. So it's going to be a great place, and there's no marketing and no ads and no noise and none of that stuff that you normally find in a social network. So yeah, I'm just really happy for the students. I'm happy that we've put this together. I'm happy that you asked me to talk tonight, Cynthia. And sometimes I don't know. I just keep on going. But I'm so excited. I'm so excited about it. You know, I really am.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you for being my guest tonight.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate that. And I want to do a shout out to Melissa for the wonderful tea from Hayward's Eclectic. Tonight I'm drinking, it's like a sleepy tea. It doesn't put me to sleep, but it keeps me asleep. So it's got the serotonin or the melatonin, or I'm not sure, but it's really good. Everyone knows Melissa's tea is phenomenal. And I will put that link or that link in the comments. And if you could put the book link in the comments or message it to me, I will put that in the comments.
Okay, I will give you that, yeah.
And I'll put the link. Yeah, I'll put the link to iAwesome in there. And if any of my viewers want to be a guest, please reach out to me. I love, love, love having people reach out to be a guest on the show. Everyone has a story that touches at least one other person.
Yes.
So I always encourage people, reach out, reach out, reach out. You can message me at info@cynthia.services. I think that's everything. Again, I would like to thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
And everyone for joining us tonight. I know you could be anywhere. You chose to be here with me, and I am grateful for that, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Take care.